Welcome to Let's Word Up, a YouTube channel dedicated to teaching you about the English language absolutely free. We cover grammar, idioms, equip you with daily words and much more. Our goal is to bring you closer to mastering the English language. In this video, we recap the week's daily grammar podcasts along with exclusive bonus content, facts, or just more fun information found only on our YouTube channel. You can head over to our website www.letswordup.com to access our daily podcasts and downloadable transcripts. Take a look at the description box below for links and details. Click on the subscribe button and notification bell so you'll know when we publish a new video. Here's a recap of the grammar that we learned in week 9. Verb and ing. When two verbs are used together in a sentence, the form of the second verb is dependent on the first verb. The second verb can be in one of three forms: the to infinitive, the infinitive without to, or ing. Some verbs are followed by a preposition and ing. Some examples of this are deny, suggest, practice, avoid, and imagine. An example sentence would be, "We can't leave until we have finished cleaning the bookshop." When the first verb is followed by a preposition, except for the preposition to, then the following verb will always be ing. An example sentence would be, "I was thinking about going to Japan." Verb and the to infinitive or ing. When two verbs are used together in a sentence, the form of the second verb is dependent on the first verb. The second verb can be in one of three forms: the to infinitive, the infinitive without to, or ing. Some verbs are followed by either the to infinitive or ing. Some examples of verbs that are followed by either of these are love, start, and bother. An example sentence would be, "I like feeding the animals," which can also be constructed as, "I like to feed the animals," which gives the same meaning. Using would like, would love, or would prefer are followed by the to infinitive. For example, "I would like to go to India." There are also some verbs that change meaning depending on whether they are followed by the to infinitive or ing. Go on, followed by the to infinitive, has the meaning of one action following another. For example, after university, I went on to get a job as a pilot. When it's followed by ing, it has the meaning of an action being repeated or continuing. For example, if you go on bugging her, she might get angry. Remember, followed by the to infinitive, has the meaning of remembering before the action is done. For example, remember to do what we practiced. When it's followed by ing, it has the meaning of remembering after the action is done. For example, I remember feeling happy. Forget, followed by the to infinitive, has the meaning of failing to do the action. For example, I forgot to clean my room. When it's followed by ing, it has the meaning of having a strong memory of an action when used in negative form. For example, I'll never forget my first trip to Disneyland, and has the meaning of saying something will not be remembered when used in the positive form. For example, you will forget doing this by the end of the week. Stop, followed by the to infinitive, has the meaning of one action stopping so that another action can begin. For example, I stopped to admire the art. When it's followed by ing, it has the meaning of one action stopping. For example, I'm going to stop studying in an hour. Try, followed by the to infinitive, has the meaning of making an effort to do something. For example, I'll try to finish it tomorrow. When it's followed by ing, it has the meaning of experimenting with something to see the outcome. For example, she tried talking to him. Need, followed by the to infinitive, has the meaning of an action being necessary in an active form. For example, you need to be careful. When it's followed by ing, it has the meaning of an action being necessary in passive form. For example, my car needs fixing. Verb and object and infinitive without to. When a verb is followed by an object, it is often followed by an infinitive without to. An example of some words that are usually used like this are feel, hear, help, let, make, notice, see, and watch. Example sentences are: they made the car drive until it ran out of petrol. She helped me finish the book. And we won't let you fail. When make is used in the passive, we use the to infinitive. For example, he was made to feed the animals at the zoo. Help can be followed by an infinitive with or without to. For example, my intuition helped me stay safe. Or, my intuition helped me to stay safe. Bonus content: 3-act structure. When considering a story of any kind, you can identify a beginning, middle, and end. One way of writing a story is to focus on the concept of beginning, middle, and end. This is known as a 3-act structure. Each act has a specific purpose or theme. There are stylistic variations, but the traditional acts are exposition, journey, and resolution. The first act, exposition, is the setup of the story, world, and character motivation. The aim of this act is to give the audience a sense of what kind of world the story is set in. For example, it might be an apocalyptic world where few humans have survived, or it might be a futuristic story with spaceships and aliens. This is also where a problem is usually introduced, known as an inciting incident, which is often something that the main character must solve and serves as the main motivation that drives the story forward. The second act, journey, is the development of the story and the path towards a solution to the problem introduced in Act 1. This is usually the longest part of the story and involves the main character taking the necessary steps in order to resolve the main issue of the story, often encountering smaller obstacles to get over in order to reach their goal. The third and final act, resolution, is the climax of the story. This is what everything in the first 2 acts has been building towards. This is usually where the main character succeeds and solves the issue presented in the first act, although it can be just as interesting to end with failure. Verb and verb negative. When using 2 verbs together, you can put not in between the verbs to make the second verb into negative form. Some examples are: I chose not to go to the shop. We enjoyed not losing the competition. And she hated not knowing. The not cannot go in front of the first verb, as that wouldn't make any sense. If you want to make the first verb into negative form, you would use do not in front of the first verb. For example, I did not like having to clean my room. They do not choose to be that way. And we did not enjoy running. If you use a negative on both verbs, you will get a double negative, which will have the effect of a positive. For example, I did not like not knowing has the same meaning as I like knowing. Likelihood based on conditions. The likelihood of something is the chance of it happening and is often paired with a conditional and a result or consequence. Conditionals are usually introduced by if and can be placed before or after the result clause. Use a comma between clauses when the if clause comes first. The zero conditional is used to talk about something that is a general truth or fact. The sentence construction is if plus present tense or present tense plus if plus present tense. Examples are, if you heat water to 100 degrees Celsius, it boils, and candy floss dissolves if you put it in water. Use past tense if it is no longer a fact. For example, when I was younger, if I did my chores, my parents gave me pocket money. The first conditional is used to talk about something that is a probable future result. The sentence construction is if plus present tense plus will, won't, might, could, or going to plus verb, or will, won't, might, could, or going to plus verb plus if plus present tense. Examples are, if I invest my money, it will grow, and my throat will swell if I eat peanuts. Might, could, or may are used instead of will in order to suggest something is less probable. For example, if I try it, I might fail. In some cases, can may be used to mean sometimes. For example, if you travel during rush hour, it can get very crowded. The second conditional is used to talk about imaginary, impossible, or unlikely situations. They refer to present or future, even when used in past tense forms. The sentence construction is if plus past tense, would, wouldn't, might, or could, plus verb, or would, wouldn't, might, or could, plus verb, plus if, plus past tense. Examples are, if I touch the fire, it would hurt, and the fire would hurt me if I touched it. The verb be can be used with was or were when using I, he, she, or it. For example, I would be scared if I were you. Using was or were and the to infinitive refers to unlikely actions in the future. For example, if you were to help me, we might be able to do it. The third conditional is used to talk about hypothetical situations in the past, imagining the result of something that did not happen. The sentence construction is if plus past perfect, would or wouldn't have, plus past participle, or would or wouldn't have, plus past participle, plus if, plus past perfect. Examples are, if I'd studied more, I would have passed the test, and you'd have finished if you worked faster. Might or could can be used instead of would in order to say that something is less certain. For example, if we'd saved up, we might have been able to afford the holiday. Other ways to introduce conditionals. For the 0, first, and second conditionals, there are a few words and phrases that can be used in place of the word if. When, or as soon as, can be used to show that something is quite certain to happen. For example, I'll wash the dishes when I finish exercising, or you can borrow the book as soon as I have finished reading it. Unless can be used to indicate a possible reason for a change in outcome. For example, we won't get there on time unless we move quicker. Provided that, providing that, so long as, and as long as can be used in place of if to show emphasis. For example, you won't fail provided that you practice. I will get there providing that I finish on time. It will be okay so long as we are careful, and as long as they are not busy, they will help. In case can be used to talk about precautions. For example, let's bring an umbrella in case it rains. Mixed conditionals. Mixed conditionals are used when the time in the if clause is different from the time in the result clause. The present result of a hypothetical past situation or action can be expressed with the sentence construction if plus past perfect, would or wouldn't plus verb. For example, if I'd taken her advice, I'd be finished by now. Or, it would be better if we hadn't made them angry. The past result of a hypothetical situation in the present can be expressed with the sentence construction if plus past simple, would or wouldn't have, plus past participle. For example, if you had more qualifications, you would have got the job. Or, if they got on better, they might have listened to each other. The future result of a hypothetical past situation or action can be expressed with the sentence construction if plus past perfect, would or wouldn't be, plus ing. For example, if I hadn't lost my keys, I'd be watching TV already. Or, if I had saved my money, I'd be going to the circus later. The present result of a hypothetical future situation or action can be expressed with the sentence construction if plus past continuous, would or wouldn't be, plus verb. For example, if I wasn't going to work later, I'd be at the park right now. The future result of a hypothetical situation in the present can be expressed with the sentence construction if plus past simple, would or wouldn't be, plus ing. For example, if I stayed, I'd be having fun with my friends.
Thanks for watching. We hoped that you found the grammar helpful and interesting. If you'd like to learn more about the English language, you can visit our website at www.letswordup.com for all of our podcast episodes and transcripts. Please do click on the subscribe button and notification bell below so you'll know when we publish a new video. It also helps us to keep going. Until next time!